Now by Colin Cowherd. The herd is coming up in a few minutes. Welcome, Colin.
Yep, Shannon, Joy, how are you?
Good. Now, what does this say about Andrew Luck that he is an underdog to Trevor Siemian?
Well, what it says is that the Colts are a bad organization with a great young quarterback. And what it said is the Broncos are a great organization with a completely limited quarterback. If you asked every NFL GM, Luck, Siemian, who's your pick? 32, Luck.
Yeah.
If you ask 32 GMs, roster, Denver, Indy, they take Denver.
Yes.
John Elway has
They're
done
the defending champ, but go ahead.
well, but they're also stacked. I mean, Cam Newton, back-to-back games, has taken a beating. That Carolina team is going to win 10, 12, 13 games. In the end, if you look at Andrew Luck, most quarterbacks in this league, except Aaron Rodgers, are worth about 5-6 points. Aaron's maybe 10. What does it tell you when, in a quarterback league, not a GM would take Siemian,
Right.
and they're a substantial dog to a team with a seventh-round quarterback who didn't dominate college and is understood as simply a placeholder for another unproven guy, Paxton Lynch. This is an indictment of Ryan Grigson and Chuck Pagano. How many years do they get a draft offensive lineman and none are elite? How many chances does Ryan Grigson get?
And how many apologists are out there for Andrew Luck? Because we have the biggest one sitting right here, right now.
I knew
right?
that was coming.
Yeah,
Colin,
here we
I should
go.
have warned you.
Yeah,
I should have
really.
warned you.
So, once again, Andrew Luck gets pass after pass. It's the offensive line. It's no running game. It's a terrible defense. Pep Hamilton paid the price for this as the scapegoat last year as his coordinator. And I don't hear anybody talk about what a turnover machine, except Shannon has come along with me on this, a turnover machine that Andrew Luck has been from the start of his career. Second most total turnovers in football his rookie year and his third year. Last year, he was a turnover disaster. I know he got beat up and knocked out completely, but how do you defend that? Because at some point, the team loses faith in the turnover machine that the highest paid player in football has become.
Here's how I defend turnovers. Eli, Big Ben, Peyton, Breeze, Elway, Bradshaw. Tom Brady is a complete historical aberration.
Yep.
Great with no picks. The great quarterbacks from Fouts to Bradshaw to Peyton, when you throw the ball down the field and you don't dink and dunk it, Kirk Cousins, Dak, you throw picks. Bill Parcells used to get angry with Phil Simms at practice. He goes, "We're at practice. You're trying to pad your stats? Throw the ball down the field." That's why I've always defended Eli Manning. The great
You
ones.
defend him because he led the league in interceptions three times, and had two lucky Super Bowl wins. Really?
Well,
He's an
lucky.
elite quarterback.
How many road wins up to the Super Bowl? You don't beat Belichick and
He had
Brady on a
one
luck.
magical run. Okay.
Let's be honest here.
Yes.
Is that there is a little bit of this luck thing. He replaced Peyton Manning, beloved. And some people don't want to see him succeed. Some people are Manning. Some people root against Garoppolo because of Brady. Some people to this day root against Rodgers because they got the Favre jersey and their kids wear the Favre jersey. I think you like Peyton Manning. I think
like Peyton Manning. I never did like him. I can't defend him at all in the postseason because by his standards of having that top seed in the AFC year after year after year, he never cashed in and lived up to it enough. But they pushed him out the back door 3 years too early. They would have had 3 better chances to win Super Bowls with Peyton Manning if he had stayed.
And who would their quarterback be now if they'd have kept Peyton Manning? Who would have Andrew Luck?
Who cares?
The Broncos. The Broncos would have had Andrew Luck because they had his.
And that spread this weekend would be 18, not 7.
And you're right, because you look at ownership top to bottom, Mr. Bolin, although he's passed along to, and John Elway, Grigson, that's not even a comparison. Because think about it, the guy that drafted Trent Richardson, the GM, he loses his job. The guy that traded for Trent Richardson, he keeps his job. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, how did this happen?
Denver is the Steelers in the mountains.
Yes.
Denver's the best organization in American sports for 30 years that we don't lump with the Spurs. We don't lump with the Steelers. We don't lump with the Patriots. In 30 years, they've had, 2 bad seasons? Denver knows what they're doing. Look at that roster. With Trevor Siemian, most people are subscribing to, that's a playoff team.
Well, Denver didn't know what it was doing one time because Tim Tebow took
Oh, Lord, help Charles. Oh,
Am I right?
We got to
Thank
What
you.
happened?
Thanks,
They
Colin.
got rid of a guy who took them to.
Skip, the producer. Go ahead, Joy.
Thank you, Colin. We'll catch you in the herd just in a few minutes.
That's how smart Denver was.
Time for our